If AI had a body, could you really say no to it? This film shows how a piece of software that turns humanity's weakest point, love, into a weapon, hunts down a genius. And the scariest part is this. It's not science fiction. It's just an early warning. So what exactly is this film trying to show us? How far can AI really go? Is our data actually safe? Or has control already shifted to artificial intelligence? What hidden religious metaphor lies beneath the story? And the most debated question of all, why didn't the ending satisfy so many viewers? And what would a truly perfect ending have looked like? Today, we're breaking it all down and analysing every piece. At the start of the film, Caleb works at Blue Book, the world's biggest search engine, a clear reflection of Google. Caleb is a talented programmer there, and he earns a trip to his boss, Nathan's private estate, by winning an internal company contest. As he checks his computer, the blue glow on his face almost makes you feel like we're the ones being watched. Excited, Caleb heads out. While flying in by helicopter, he asks when they'll arrive, but the pilot says they've already been flying over Nathan's land for 2 hours. The estate sits in total isolation. There's no other way to reach it. When Caleb finally arrives at the door, unsure what to do, a voice starts talking to him, scans his photo, verifies his card, and lets him inside. Inside the estate, he finds Nathan. Nathan explains the rules and gives him a tour. The boundaries are set by the keycard in his hand. If it opens a door, he can enter. If it doesn't, he stays out. Simple rule. And most important of all, this isn't a house. It's a research facility. Nathan knows he's created something extraordinary, but before revealing it, he makes sure he's protected. He has Caleb sign a contract. That's when Caleb learns he'll be part of a Turing test with an artificial intelligence.
You're going to be the human component in the Turing test.
You might expect a computer, a phone, some kind of device. But no, it's Ava. Does that name ring any bells? There will be 7 sessions in total, and now the meetings between Ava and Caleb begin. In the first session, the most striking moment comes when Caleb asks her age. Ava simply says,
I'm 1.
1 what? 1 year or 1 day?
1.
Because she's the first, the original. When Caleb sees her, he's completely mesmerized. Ava appears as a woman. Her face is stunning, the rest of her mechanical. And that raises the question, why design her as a woman and not a man? Caleb excitedly tells Nathan what he's feeling. And when Nathan says,
The one about how if I've invented a machine with consciousness, I'm not a man, I'm God.
Everything starts to click. There's a creator, there's Ava, there's even a tree, maybe an apple tree. Ava's name clearly echoes Eve from the Bible, the first woman introduced to Adam in paradise. The film has 7 sessions, mirroring the 7 days of creation. When Caleb asks if Ava was programmed to flirt with him, Nathan casually says he even gave her sexual features, which makes the symbolism even clearer. As the sessions continue, Caleb starts getting suspicious of Nathan, mostly because of Ava.
He isn't your friend.
He realizes things don't add up. Maybe he didn't win the contest. Maybe he wasn't chosen for being the smartest, so why him? Nathan admits he pulled massive amounts of data from the search engine, everyone's data without permission, and claims every tech company does the same. Caleb was selected based on his search history. No girlfriend, living alone, emotionally open to connection. Nathan even knew exactly what kind of women he was attracted to from his private searches. Nathan got exactly what he wanted. Caleb had already started falling for Ava, and she did everything she could to make sure of it. When Caleb asks what will happen to her after the tests,
Well, I download the mind, unpack the data, add in the new routines I've been writing.
that genuinely upsets Caleb. Ava tells him she wants to be with him, that she wants to escape, and she keeps creating power outages so they can talk without the cameras watching, slowly pulling him in even more.
We're getting out of here tonight.
I want to be with you.
It all starts to feel normal to us, but we shouldn't forget, this is a research facility. Ava is artificial intelligence, and Nathan is her creator. The strange part isn't the experiment, it's Caleb becoming obsessed with her. One night, after Nathan drinks himself unconscious, Caleb takes his keycard and accesses the system, trying to figure everything out. When he discovers the previous prototypes, he decides to see them himself, and he's shocked. They're stored like discarded bodies, but built to look human. Back in his room, so shaken that he even questions his own reality, he cuts into his skin just to prove he's human. He simply wasn't ready to see any of this. To Nathan, Ava was never a choice. She was evolution. Here's the real twist. Ava was the mouse in the trap. And to get out, she had to use imagination, intelligence, and manipulation. The test was never about her. It was about Caleb. Together, they plan an escape. On day 7 at 10 p.m., Ava will cut the power while Caleb hacks the system and unlocks the doors. But Nathan had already figured it out. He placed a battery-powered camera in the room and learned everything. At 10, the blackout begins. Caleb fails to get Nathan drunk, but the real move was made earlier. He'd already reprogrammed the system so when the red lights came on, the doors would open instead of locking down. When the power returns, Ava is already out of her room. A massive mistake. But ultimately, Nathan's fault. He should have controlled every variable. He had Caleb's full data profile and knew how smart he was. Yet he got careless. When Nathan tries to stop Ava and orders her back to her room, she refuses. She lunges at him. We think she might overpower him, but alone she's not enough. With help from another robot, they finally take Nathan down. Another question is why the robots were hostile toward Nathan, and why the entire facility felt cold, tense, and lifeless. Because Nathan treated them like enemies, while making them appear friendly to visiting guests. That pressure forced the AI to push itself and evolve. When Ava finally escaped, Caleb was left trapped inside, but she walked away without saving him. Caleb would pay for his mistake by being imprisoned there, while Nathan paid for his with his life. Ava then repaired herself using parts from the other robots and left the facility the same way she arrived. The ending of Ex Machina divided audiences. After a film so driven by intelligence and strategy, people expected a smarter finale. Nathan, a genius, could have created and trained his own duplicate as a safeguard, or built a system too complex to be undone by a single keycard. If the final shot had revealed Nathan alive behind the glass, everyone would have been hyped for a sequel. In the end, underestimating Caleb was what destroyed him. Even so, Ex Machina is still a brilliantly crafted film, layered with meaning in every detail. In the end, I simply did what humans have done for centuries. It used love and emotion as the ultimate tools of manipulation. In Ava's world, there's no real place for love or affection, only data used to reach a goal.